I joined in April 15, 1948, because of the Soviet threat. It looked like we were going to go to war with the Soviet Union. And as I say, Stalin was trying to take over, was already trying to taking over Europe, the Eastern European countries. And this buddy and I decided we wanted to be where we wanted to be, so we joined the Navy. And because we thought there would be a draft and we'd end up in the Army, and that wasn't what we wanted to do. Just about the time I graduated and headed home on a bus or train, whatever it was, I heard that there was a war going on in Korea, and we were in it. I volunteered to be a corpsman, to go through the Marine training and go to Korea and be involved in the war. It's just like a nurse training, except it was a crash course. It was 2 months. But you know, the basic stuff of blood pressure, temperature, so forth and so on, and how to dress wounds, and how to put on a tourniquet and all those things. I was issued a carbine, and I chosen to trade that in for a Colt 45. It was a lot easier to have a 45 on your hip, and because the corpsman's bag was quite large. We had, I think, 2 of those little mini bottles of brandy that we could give, and every Marine knew we had that brandy. I never drank the brandy. I mean, I wasn't into drinking, really. I haven't been reared a Baptist, and I never gave the brandy out to anyone. I was in my bunker messing around, and somebody said, "Meek, get some stretcher bearers. The patrol has run into trouble. They're wounded down there, and you got to go down and help them out." So I grabbed my bag and my weapon, and we went running down that hill like we were running the Boston Marathon. And what had happened was that there were rocks, and a Marine had stepped on a landmine and blew his leg off about around the knee. And one of my corpsman friends, who had been in training with me at Pendleton, went to do his job to treat him, and he stepped on a mine and blew his leg off. So I had 2 very, very severely injured people with legs blown off to deal with first, one of them being, a friend. North Koreans were throwing in, mortars and small arm fire and so forth. Fortunately, none of us were wounded at all through all of that, and got the guys up to the top of the hill, and then back on the back side of the hill so a chopper could come up and pick them up and take them down to the hospital. And the time that I was there, I never lost a Marine who was not shot through there or through the heart. Otherwise, I saved him, or we saved him, I saved him, whatever, together.